Purpose is the most powerful force on earth. It is the reason for your existence, the intention in the mind of God that motivated Him to create you. Everything God created, He created for a purpose. Nothing in creation is accidental. Nothing in creation is random, and that includes you. You were born because something God wanted done could only be done through you. You are not here to take up space. You are here to take up assignment. When we talk about moving forward with purpose, we are not talking about running ahead blindly. We are talking about aligning your life with the original intent of your Creator. Purpose is not ambition. Purpose is not personal goals. Purpose is not human desire. Purpose is the divine assignment God encoded into your very existence. And until you discover that assignment, life becomes an experiment. But once you discover it, life becomes intentional. God speaks in Isaiah chapter 43 verses 18 to 19 and says, "Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing, now it shall spring forth, shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness, and rivers in the desert." Notice the language. God begins with the mind. Remember not, consider not. Why? Because the greatest enemy of your future is not the devil, it is your memory. You cannot walk into tomorrow while your mind is chained to yesterday. You cannot embrace the new while you are emotionally married to the old. God says, "I will do a new thing," but He cannot do a new thing in a mind that refuses to release the old thing. Every new season requires a mental exodus. You must leave some thoughts behind. You must leave some patterns behind. You must leave some identities behind. You must leave some emotional attachments behind. God says, "I will make a way in the wilderness." That means your future is not limited by your environment. Your purpose is not limited by your background. Your destiny is not limited by your history. God can create rivers in deserts. He can create opportunities in dry places. He can create pathways where none exist. But you must move. When God called Abraham, He did not give him a map. He gave him a command. Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 to 2 says, "Now the Lord had said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing." Notice the order. Get out, and I will show you. God does not show you until you move. Revelation follows obedience. Clarity follows movement. Purpose unfolds step by step. Abraham had to leave the familiar to discover the meaningful. He had to leave comfort to discover calling. He had to leave the known to discover the promised. Many people want God to reveal the entire plan before they take the first step. But God says, "Move, and I will show you." Purpose is progressive. It is revealed in stages. God never gives you the full blueprint, because He wants relationship, not independence. If He gave you the full plan, you would stop seeking Him. So He gives you enough to start, and He reveals the rest as you walk. Paul understood this principle. In Philippians chapter 3 verses 13 to 14 he writes, "Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before, I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus." Paul says, this one thing I do, not 10 things, not 20 things, one thing. Purpose requires focus. Purpose requires discipline. Purpose requires the ability to say, "I am not going back there. I am not living there. I am not rehearsing that. I am moving forward." Some of you are not stuck because the devil is strong. You are stuck because your memory is loud. You keep replaying failures, disappointments, betrayals, mistakes. But Paul says, "I forget what is behind." That means your past is not your prison. Your attachment to it is. You cannot drive forward while staring in the rearview mirror. You cannot reach forward while clinging backward. Purpose requires intentional forgetting. Purpose requires mental discipline. Purpose requires emotional maturity. Joshua faced a similar moment. Moses was dead. The old season had ended. The familiar leader was gone. And God speaks to Joshua, in Joshua chapter 1 verse 9, and says, "Have not I commanded thee? Be strong, and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest." God does not give Joshua comfort. He gives him courage. Because purpose requires courage. Purpose requires boldness. Purpose requires stepping into places you have never been, doing things you have never done, trusting God in ways you have never trusted Him. God says, "I am with you wherever you go." That means purpose is not about location, it is about obedience. Wherever you go in obedience, God goes with you. Wherever you step in faith, God steps with you. Purpose is not discovered in comfort zones. Purpose is discovered in obedience zones. Let me give you a picture. Imagine someone trying to run a marathon with a backpack full of bricks. That is how many people live. They are trying to move forward while carrying weights God never asked them to carry. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1 says, "Let us lay aside every weight, and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us." Not everything slowing you down is sinful. Some things are just heavy. Some relationships are heavy. Some habits are heavy. Some mindsets are heavy. Some environments are heavy. And God says, lay it aside. You cannot run with purpose while carrying unnecessary weight. You cannot move forward while dragging old seasons. You cannot embrace the future while holding the past. Purpose requires pruning. Purpose requires separation. Purpose requires the courage to say, this is not helping me become who God called me to be. Now hear this. Purpose is not a destination. It is a journey. Purpose is not a moment. It is a lifetime. Purpose is not discovered in a single revelation. It is discovered in daily obedience. Purpose is the unfolding of God's intention for your life, step by step, season by season, assignment by assignment. Some of you feel the pull of purpose right now. You feel God calling you to start something, a ministry, a business, a mission. You feel God calling you to leave something, a toxic environment, a limiting relationship, an old habit. You feel God calling you to grow spiritually, mentally, emotionally. That is purpose speaking. Purpose is the voice of God inside you saying, there is more. Purpose is the only place where true peace exists. Purpose is the only place where true joy exists. Purpose is the only place where true fulfillment exists. You were designed for purpose. You were created for purpose. You were born for purpose. And until you move toward that purpose, life will feel incomplete. So as you move forward, ask yourself, what is God calling me to start? What is God calling me to stop? What is God calling me to release? What is God calling me to embrace? What step of obedience is God asking me to take? Purpose is not discovered in theory. Purpose is discovered in movement. Purpose is discovered in obedience. Purpose is discovered in faith. And when you move forward with purpose, heaven moves with you. God is calling you to move. Not randomly, not anxiously, but purposefully, intentionally, boldly, confidently, because the God who called you is faithful. And He will do it.